Hi, let me introduce myself. I am Saurabh and I am one of the core members of Electronica Club IITH. My friend Amay and I have prepared this video. This video is about EVs more than a roadway transport. So let's start our video. Nowadays, EVs are considered only for road transport. Because of various advantages of EVs over conventional vehicles, they are going to play a vital role in transportation. But EVs are not restricted to road transport. We can use them in various domains like trains, drones, planes, ships, tanks, and many others. We are going to learn about this topic one by one. So let's start with electric aircrafts. Before starting with electrical aircrafts, I would like to highlight some negative effects of current aircrafts on environment. People living near airports are exposed to the noise from aircraft. The aircraft engines emits pollutants to the atmosphere like carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, oxides of sulfur, unburned or partially combusted hydrocarbons. We know that these pollutants are very harmful to the human health, and the noise caused by the aircraft are also going to impact human health very badly. This slide shows us climate impact of air travels. These aircrafts emit CO2, nitrogen gases, water vapor, soot, sulfate particles, and this is the case which shows contribution to global warming proportional to CO2 by these gases. So total 1.9 to 4.7 proportional to CO2 is the contribution to the global warming by these gases. So we can see that how harmful are the current aircraft for the environment. So we need to replace this aircraft with electrical aircraft to save our environment. So let's start with electrical aircraft. The harmful effects of aviation have become a major driving force for the development of electric aircrafts. An electric aircraft is the aircraft powered by electricity. So in order to power the electric aircraft, we need to supply electric power. This electric power is supplied using solar cells, microwaves, and power cables. Solar cells convert sunlight directly into electrical energy using photovoltaic materials. Microwave energy, that is beam from remote transmitter, and power cables connected to ground based electrical supply can provide electric power supply to the aircraft. Now we need to store this supplied electric power. This electric power is stored using batteries, fuel cells, and ultracapacitors. Batteries use chemical reaction to generate electricity. This chemical reaction is reversed when we recharge the battery. Fuel cells consumes fuel and an oxidizer in a chemical reaction to generate electricity. These fuel cells need to be refueled typically with hydrogen. Ultracapacitors. Ultracapacitors are hybrid electrochemical energy storage system bridging between batteries and capacitors. Ultracapacitors have some advantages over batteries. Ultracapacitors charge and discharge rapidly as compared to batteries with higher peak current. The stored electric power is used by electrical motors to drive thrust generating propellers and lift generating rotors. Electric planes are zero-emission planes. Electric planes produce less noise as compared to the normal planes which runs on fuels. Hence, electric planes have overcome all the disadvantages of the current planes. So, electric planes are better option than current planes. This is the NASA's Pathfinder Plus electric powered unmanned aerial vehicle. These are the solar cells. These solar cells convert sunlight into electrical energy using photovoltaic materials, and this electrical energy stored in battery, and the stored energy is used by the electric motors to drive its rotors, and which in turn helps the plane to fly. So here we end our topic of electrical aircraft. Now Amay will talk about electric trains and electric ships. Thank you.
So, electric trains. An electric locomotive is a locomotive powered by electricity from overhead lines called catenaries, a third rail, or onboard energy storage such as batteries or a supercapacitor. So, an locomotive benefit from the high efficiency of electric motors, and additional efficiency can be gained from regenerative braking, which allows kinetic energy to be recovered during braking to put power back on the line. So, employing regenerative braking in trains can lead to a substantial CO2 emission reduction. And when regenerative braking is employed, what happens is the current in the electric motors is reversed, slowing down the train. And at the same time, the electromotors generate electricity to be returned to the power distribution system. It can be more easily applied to AC power trains than to DC power trains. And the power can also come from clean or renewable resources. including geothermal power, hydroelectric power, biomass, solar power, nuclear, and wind turbines. And electric locomotives usually cost 20% less than diesel locomotives, and their maintenance costs are 25 to 35% lower and cost up to 50% less to run. So over here we can see that this is called as an overhead line, which is present on top of the train. So an overhead line or an overhead wire is an electric cable that is used to transmit electrical energy to electric locomotives, trolleybuses or trams, and this is called as a third rail. A third rail is also known as a live rail, electric rail or conductor rail, and it is a method of providing electric power to a railway train through a semi-continuous rigid conductor placed alongside or between the rails of a railway track. So over here we can see it is placed alongside the railway track, and this is an electric freight train which is carrying freight, and as you can see over here it is powered by an overhead line. So the next mode of transport is waterways, and electric ships transport about 80% of the world's commodities as reported by United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. And out of the total global air emissions, shipping accounts for 18 to 30% of nitrogen oxide. Hence, we need a more substantial alternative, and you might have guessed it, it's electrical vehicles. So, electrical systems are not just deemed to be sustainable on land and in the air. In many cases, these environmentally friendly alternatives to oil are suitable for inland shipping and also for ocean-going ships in the distant future. One advantage of the battery operation is that electricity is much cheaper than oil, and especially marine diesel. So there have been many developments, and one of them is a Chinese company, Guangzhou Shipyard, launched in 2017 the world's first electric container ship, and it has a battery system made up of more than 1000 lithium-ion batteries and supercapacitors, giving the vessel autonomy to travel up to 80 kilometers. So this is a picture of the container ship, and this is India's first solar powered ferry, Aditya, which was designed by Navalt Solar and Electric Boats in Kochi, India. So that's it. This concluding the presentation.